First of all, I want to thank my mom most because she has been a great support for me in what I do. Like she used to tell me that most of the time that I follow my passion and I follow what I love doing most, because what matters most is what you love and what God has given you. My mom has really been a great supportive person. I do pencil portraits. And also I can do with color pencils. And also, not only do I do that, I also paint words. I love messing with words and giving it a good symphony. I finished school last year and there was no art in school, and actually at some point I had to face a lot of challenges drawing, you know, like being found drawing in prep time, and you know, it's not fine. You have to read, like the teacher is saying, you have to read and do a professional career. But me, there was a deep passion in me in art, and so like I pushed on in art. Okay, the first thing that made me to at least believe in myself, there was a portrait I drew in school, and in class. You know, back then the students didn't realize that I was an artist, and so there was this picture that I drew one night during the prep time, and it was an amazing picture. And so like people were like, "You're so amazing! You have a talent. You're different like the rest of us." And so by the time I was in Form 2, I was the best artist in our school. I was like drawing graffiti for the people, you know, some stuffs like funkies, you know, and also doing a lot of portraits for people. Like when I was in Form 3 2015, I used to draw a lot for my friends. My friends used to bring portraits from their parents, and yeah, I drew them, and at least I earned something. In art, there is passion. Like you can give me a portrait right now, I draw, but because I don't have the interest, it cannot be well. But when I have the morale and the passion for it, I can draw a very good thing. Yeah, doing pencil portraits, it's not easy, because first of all you have to know how to balance light, how the light falls on the image. Like, you know, in pencil portraits, you do black and white. So there's a way that you have to know how the light will come out from the image. So it's not just an easy thing, because you have to learn the techniques of shading. We have different complexions, and you know, the pencil, mostly people describe it as it can be used, it is black. So like you have to know how you have to know how to balance the light, the way you are shading. Like for Africans, you know, most of us are black. So there's a way you should bring out the black complexion in the picture. So you have to put more of the dark pencil than the light one. I get a lot of clients through my blogs and yeah, through my Facebook page and Instagram. For the A3, when I combine it with the frame, I charge 5,000 Kenyan shillings only, and when there is no frame, I just do it for 3,500. It is not difficult to use the oils, the paints, and actually there was a time I used to do the paintings and all that, but according to me there is a way I feel drawing using pencils, and also I can do painting with using oils, using paints. It's not a difficult thing, but there's a way I like just doing the pencil. Most people like to associate with themselves with the personalities, icons. So I've drawn many icons. These are people who have made such a great impact in the world. There's Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is one of my role models. I like him, and I like him the way he thought and the way like he used to handle things. And so I decided one day that I'll draw Mahatma Gandhi. I used to, in school I used to do a lot of public speaking, and so there was a time I used to bring a lot of quotes from Mahatma Mohandas. And so like my friend, my desk mate told me one day, like, why don't you do this person you keep talking about, a portrait of him, at least to remember him, and at least people can know him more. People like in high school don't know more about icons, like world icons. They know about entertainment icons and sport icons. And so I decided to do the portrait, and I went and hung it in the school notice board. It was a good, it made me feel nice.
And those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Barack Obama, I did that portrait actually when I was I did it in Form 2 back in 2014. I like the man, and he was the first black president. Actually, he was from Kenya, so I thought, why can't I do a portrait of him?
All right, well, jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, and I hope you like jamming too.
I did that picture of Bob Marley back in 2014. I was informed through that time, and a lot of people could associate with his music, and most people loved his music, and he was a great musician, music icon in the world, and so I did a portrait of him just to symbolize the saying that he says that my music will go on forever. I did it with a lot of shading. There was a lot of shading. Actually, it took me a lot of time. It may seem simple, but there's a way you interact with the picture. I could interact with the picture more, and I could give a great output of it. And so, like for the Bob Marley, also he represents the black spirit of people there, and so it was more darker for the dreadlocks and for the personality himself. And that's Nicki Minaj. I also did it back in 2014, and that picture, actually, she's also a musician, and so I did it, and you can see it has a very dark complexion, and so I had to put it I was trying actually something new, and at least to put more dark in my pictures. And like there's the one I did for Wangari Maathai, I did way back in school, and it was this time that she had died, and there was a lot of planting of trees, there was a lot of just like trying to conserve the environment, and so I saw it was a great opportunity to draw, at least to put this great icon in a piece of paper. Okay, my process before I start doing art, like there's a way I have to like interact with the picture. I feel the picture. I feel that what can I say? I feel the environment of the picture, and I also, most of the time, I draw listening to music. I listen to a lot of music. About time of drawing the pictures, it will be determined by the size of the picture and how I'm passionate about that picture. Like for example, there are some pictures I do for about 24 hours. 24 hours I can draw an A4 paper and finish. And for an A3 paper I can take less than maybe 48 hours and I can be done. Tools of my trade, I use 4H, 2H, 6B pencil and 2B pencil. Okay, for the 6B, it's used for making the darker tone. For the 4H, for the lighter tone. And as you can see, I have the color pencils. These color pencils, they are used for making the picture to look well and to look pretty at least. As you can see, the rubbers here. I use 3 rubbers. One for at least removing the darker tone when there's a lot of dark tone in the picture. And also I use another rubber which is used to make sharp edges, maybe for the hair and all that. And the last one is I use a simple piece of tissue paper for rubbing the darker tone for the picture to be smooth. And I also use a brush. A brush is used for removing the particles. You don't have to remove using your hand, so that it can have a better texture. The longest portrait that has ever taken me took me 2 days. 2 days, and it was a commissioned art I did for someone, and it took me actually 2 days. There's a way I like drawing babies a lot because they have this soft complexion, and in pencil it's just simple. Like for the elderly, it is so hard to draw the wrinkles, like but I can draw it. But there's a way I find it drawing the kids so interesting. In my club, which was the Peace Club, they wanted something that could represent our club. And so I decided to do this picture of this child, this kid. And you see this kid, there's a way that you look at this picture and you feel the happiness in you. And so I decided to draw this picture. About the complexion of this picture, you can see there's a lot of, in the heart, there's a lot of details. And there I used a lot of HB, or a lot of B pencil. You know, in the pencils there's B pencil, the H. In the eyes, you can see the eyes, they are somehow bringing you closer to the picture. And also there is in the background there's a lot of black, which could actually bring you right to the face as you look at it. I did a live picture once, but it was also back in school, and I drew my deskmate. But you know, it was so hard because sometimes he's in the motion, sometimes he's moving. So I find it difficult. You know, you have to put someone in a still position so that you can get the actual picture that he or she wants. But getting from the actual pictures, it is simple because I have to stay with the picture. At least I engage with it, and at least, you know, there is no motion or that. Like for Jomo Kenyatta, you know, you have to identify it with people. People have to, like, when I bring the picture, people will say this is Jomo Kenyatta. But so the pressure is normal, but as time goes by, you'll be able to, like, know where you'll be able to interact with the picture and like get the actual face. Okay, for the older people, it takes a lot of time, and you have to put a lot of graphite in it. Like the wrinkles, you have to put different graphite, different pencils, and like for the children, it's simple. I can do it even within 24 hours, and I'm done. Or well, let's say 3 hours, I'll be done with the picture because they have the soft complexion. But for the people, like the one for the Nelson Mandela, you see it has a lot of wrinkles. And for the wrinkles, I had to use different pencils so that I can bring out the wrinkles. It's not an easy job there. And for the hair, you had to bring the white part so that he can look old because he's not as young as other pictures. I had to put a lot of time in it so that I can remove the actual figure of an adult person. One of the most difficult thing in this picture was drawing the hair. As you can see, in the hair it has to flow. You have to put the right kind of color in it. And so I like this picture because of the hair. I had to do the hair several times so that it could be well. The difficulty in drawing hair is about shading. You cannot draw the hair, it's about shading. You have at first to shade the whole picture in the hair part so that you can start shading and removing the parts. Yeah, using a rubber mostly. I'm not yet a perfect artist. I'm trying each and every day, learning new things so that I can do hyperrealism, whereby I can get the actual picture. Like you can see the difference between a picture and the real person. So I'm trying every day to improve and at least get better images and yeah, something great. For me, you know, there was no art in our school back then. So like I could admire most of the portraits being done by like people like Paul Carden. He does hyperrealism, and a girl from Russia, she's called Olga Darionova. She does so amazing pictures that they just like make you shiver. They are so great. So like every time I could practice so that I could be better like them and at least bring it here in Kenya. The Kenyan market, there is this artist called Jadong Arts. He does a lot of photorealistic pictures, so they are at least great. So he's a good inspiration. Okay, right now, like in our place, we had started a group of young artists who could draw, but within time, there was not a lot of motivation. There's no people supporting you. To get a lot of information and a teacher who can teach you art, it's not easy. Like I told you earlier, in my school, like, it was not easy to convince a teacher that I can do my passion and I can earn from it. It was not easy, and yeah, but actually, like, most of the time I could not get information here locally. Like, there was a time I used to talk to a lot of people from outside. Like, I asked them what they do, what stuff they do with pencils, like all of that, and they could actually sometimes even refer me to YouTube, and I could get a lot of information from there. I believe I can earn from art because it's my passion and it's what I love, and actually it's a God-given ability. So when I use it as a career, it can be something great in my life. About my skill, I love it has really brought me to a lot of people. I can engage with a lot of people through art. Like, I interact with a lot of personalities, people who want to be drawn like their children, pets, all of that. So you have to at least know your gift, know what God has provided into your life, and at least you can put it into maybe a profession, because most of the youth right now, they want to be employed. But for me, you see, I'm self-employed, like, because I've realized I have talents, and also I can use it to make money, and also to make myself happy. And also for the people who have not yet found their gifts, they can still find their gifts, maybe by going deeper into their hearts by what they love doing,